good, everybody?
Hey, how is everyone?
Who's that talking in my video? Oh, hey!
Are we finally doing this SortingHelmet?
Oh yes, Miacidae. How's it going? Ladies
It's
and
going.
gentlemen, I am the SortingHelmet,
I'm Miacidae.
and welcome to...
What did we decide to call this?
I don't know. Stress check? Resolve check?
Stress check, resolve check, something like that. Or if you have ideas, throw them in the comments. We just might decide on one of those instead.
Darkest hours, resolve check, stress cast. Actually, that one was pretty decent. Darkest banter. We have no idea what to call this. But ladies and gentlemen, how you doing? How's your day going? How's your day going?
It's actually going pretty well. Just chilling, doing my thing.
Yeah.
How about you?
I'm doing pretty good, actually. It's starting to get warm out in this weather. It was weird. It was like really cold the other day, and now I'm starting to sweat all in the span of 24 hours.
Yeah, I think last week it was below 30 degrees here, and now we're up in the 70s, so I feel that.
Jesus. But anyways, for those that don't know, I am the SortingHelmet, and I do modded Darkest Dungeon content, and I kind of do a niche thing of covering work in progress stuff here and there. Miacidae, your turn.
I'm Miacidae. I do a lot of Darkest Dungeon stuff along other various weird games, and I do a lot of just modded playthrough, having fun, scuffed groups, and I laugh at a lot of my failures along the way, because I do a lot of weird playthroughs, a lot of weird groups that people wouldn't think of, and laugh at my failures along the way. I think that about sums it up, right?
Yeah, you're the crazy maniac that's doing the no heal, no stun, no stress.
Yep, that's up and coming soon if it's not released by the time this is out, so that's been fun.
Meanwhile, conversely, I'm doing Blood Moon, Nuzlocke, Permadeath, with all the enemies having 60% more HP. That's gonna be fun.
Who's do you think is gonna be more fun there?
I don't know. It depends on your definition of fun, I would suppose. Can't talk. But anyways, so what is this video? What are we doing here? Just yapping the yap? Or, I think both of our playthroughs have pretty much come to a natural conclusion. Don't you think?
More or less, yeah. Or really long
or not
going playthroughs have
mine
come to an
didn't
end.
really... Oh, sorry about that. You were saying?
Yeah, not... I guess mine came to a faster end than it normally would have, but it was reaching a natural conclusion. Your Madness Estate was kind of reaching a conclusion?
Yeah, mine mostly came to an end mostly because the veteran grind was starting to really grate on my nerves because I was being an idiot and not cutting out some of the fluff runs. I was showcasing every single run possible. Plus I had a lot of characters. I would say my run ended a long time ago. I just kind of put the nail in the coffin a little bit later. So it kind of soft ended. I didn't really give it a proper ending, which I'm going to do one last hurrah before I say farewell to the Madness Estate. So that's going to be really fun once I release that video. But I've seen your DD1 and DD2 runs. I haven't seen DD3 and DD4 yet. Did you ever get to fight the Archpriest from the Manor, or whatever he's called?
I did not. Did you see kinda what happened before I went into the DD1 estate? Or the DD1 and DD2 where, like, everything got deleted?
Yeah.
Yeah, so because of that, I decided I wasn't going to risk it, because every time I tried to close the game down, that happened again, and I had to put in the save state and kind of redo all the files on the back end. So I had to do DD1, DD2, not close the game, go eat, and then do DD3, DD4 all in basically one sitting. So, like, I just went, no bosses other than just go finish game.
Scribes, that must have been fun. All in one sitting, that must have taken at least an hour or two at the most.
Oh,
I had to leave.
Yeah, it was a while.
A sudden realization just hit me.
What's that?
60% HP increase versus the ancestor. Ah,
Oh,
that's
that's gonna be a few more copies to beat, isn't it?
oh god. Yeah, that's gonna be fun. But anyways, our whole goal with this video podcast, we're here to mostly talk about the modding scene, our playthroughs, what we think of certain mods, this, that, and the other. You know, just kind of sit and vibe because honestly, I don't think there has ever been a modded Darkest Dungeon podcast. So
And
hey,
if there is, I'm not
we're
sure
the
how
first
long it
ones to do
lasted.
I haven't even heard of anything. Maybe, I'm not sure if Element 5 has ever done a podcast or anything like that, but hey, to me, we're the first.
Yeah, like I know Darkest Dungeon has been mentioned in podcasts, but I'm not sure there's ever been one that's dedicated to it. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, to be fair, the Darkest Dungeon community, or Darkest Dungeon modding community, is such a niche community because it's done in a weird black box of code where it's like, don't quote me on this exactly, but I think it's like C++, but it's some like weird, demented custom offshoot of it, to where coding is both easy and staring into the void at the very same time.
Well, I had to
you're
do
just
just a lot of editing myself, and I was able to do it all in Notepad, and I was told a lot of people use Notepad Plus for it, but man, looking at that code, I'm surprised half of it even works.
there's a reason why the Eldritch Spaghetti is sort of like a meme for it. Now, honestly, I look at it and my brain goes cross-eyed. It just crosses the wires like, okay. To be honest, I have a good question. What was your favorite episode to do on your playthrough?
Oh, there are a lot of fun ones, and a lot of ones that I thought were gonna be fun just kind of turned mediocre, and a lot of ones that I thought were like, I'm not gonna do anything in this episode, turned really fun for various reasons. So that's kind of a hard one, and also my goldfish memory. But I know recently one of the more fun ones, just because it was a mechanic I had never run into, was the Night Parade one I had done.
That's a fun one.
Yeah, where the Near Orion did, hey, you're guarded by yourself, and I didn't realize that the character couldn't hit the Near Orion, so they attacked themselves.
Yeah, stop hitting yourself. Speaking of Somewhere Isles, one of my favorite fights is the Umibozu and stuff like that, where you're constantly on death's door and all that stuff.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened on my playthrough, but the Umibozu fight for me on my most recent playthrough, I didn't have to do that mechanic. I was really disappointed.
I know there's some weird jank that can happen if its HP gets changed or something like that. I don't remember exactly. It's been a hot second since I fought it, but it's really easy to break it unintentionally. So it's like, jank ass game, basically.
Yeah.
But if I had a favorite episode, I can remember this one distinctly. It's the video I called, Now This is Darkest Dungeon, where I had Survivor with the double-edged trinket from Swinescab and the warped glass trinket. And the very start of that video, I'm just going along, memeing, and all of a sudden, Survivor gets hit by a trap and over 3/4 of his health just gone. It's like, okay, that set the tone for the entire video right there.
Yeah, that would do it.
Because warped glass, for those that don't know, warped glass, if he hits death's door, Survivor just dies. There is no check. He is just dead. And what Double Edge does is it's a funny meme trinket for the Swine Scavenger, to where you have a 21% chance of reflecting any and all damage back onto yourself. And since I cracked out my poor Survivor with so much damage, and I'm using AoE attacks, and it has an even higher chance with crits of affecting the backfire to hit him, I was running a lot of Aegis skills and a lot of blocks on him. There were quite a few moments where he could have died. It was pretty funny. But he survived that entire run. That was really fun.
Yeah, that was a good one.
It's like, pretty much that was Darkest Dungeon. Like, the goofy stuff that you can do with some mods, especially like cross mod balancing, can be goofy and hilarious, and things can interact in such unintended ways that just gives me a laugh, you know. Speaking of Survivor and stuff like that, he is one of my favorite mods to run now and then. But I'm curious, what are some of your favorite like class mods and stuff like that, you know?
So I'm one of those people that the favorite mods I have kind of changes on the day to day, but I kind of use them all the time. If you kind of see my stuff, are the Arbiter, just because they are so. No, not the Arbiter, the Anointed. I get them mixed up a lot. Arbiter is really good too, don't get me wrong, but the Anointed, just because they're so useful, and I love the shenanigans that you can get up with their trinkets.
Oh yeah.
The
Anointed is really nice because Vintage really knocked it out of the park. I think that was the very first bird that came to the workshop too.
Was it?
Yeah, he was the very first one, basically. Anointed was basically Vestal Plus, essentially. And he's changed quite a bit over the few years he's been out. But yeah, I'm pretty confident Anointed was the first bird. And then, God, I think Prefect came after that. And then I don't remember after that.
All the birds are awesome. Like, the shenanigans you can get up with them are just utterly awesome. If you've seen some of the videos I've done with them.
Especially Prefect
is just cross mod, like, go nuts. 100+ bleed with some characters.
Put that on the Ripper, Ken.
Yeah, I did. Or the Navigator, when you get her trinket to just turn all her damage into bleed.
Jesus, I did not think to do that.
I did that, and then I ran into the Basilisk. It was amazing.
Oh, I need to go see that. You clowned on the Basilisk with bleed?
Yeah.
That freaking boss has hands, man. He has hands.
I mean, to an extent, he ripped me apart, but I did clown on it with a bleed, and then we limped away.
That's what happens with a lot of fun fights. Like, you get your shit rocked, you rock their shit, we all go home and have a good laugh.
Yeah, I think at the highest point on that, I had a 48 bleed before it cured itself, something along that line.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it was awesome. What about you? What are some of your like more favorite commonly used mods?
I have a pretty boring list, in all things considered, but honestly, I like stuff like Gunwitch, really fun because I love the over-the-top animation she does, where she crosses her hands and fires the cauldron mortar.
You know, that's fun. A good one. I also just like the cat for searching everything. It's like, no, I'm not going into danger. The cat is.
Like, a lot of my favorite mods, I have like two kinds of favorites. I have a vibe favorite where, you know, Gunwitch, and then mechanics-wise, I love them as well. You know, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Because, Bombard, I love explosions, I love fire, I love blowing things up with excessive, you know, force.
Oh yeah.
And Bombard is really fun because you use God, what's that skill called? You set the AoE and then you use Kaboom and just blow everything up.
It's actually called Kaboom if I remember right.
Yeah. And it's just getting those big quad AoE explosions, and especially when it crits with the Fire Emblem crit sound effect, it's just icing on the cake. Ever since Jello put out that sound effect for the Fire Emblem crits, I have not uninstalled it ever.
I've been meaning to install it, and I never have.
It's so good. But if I were to give a serious answer to my favorite class, Thorn. 100% Thorn.
Oh, that makes sense, yeah. Thorn is a good one.
Because she has aged so well. Like, so very well. She does a little bit of healing. She can go full offense, full defense. My favorite way to run her is, I don't even run her guard. I run her with another guard, or like Man at Arms or something like that. I don't like using AoE guard, but I kind of run like a hybrid Thorn to where I use Wilt and stuff like that. You know, kind of like a position 3E and use Dare. dare the enemy to hit her with a riposte, and she just deletes them like boop.
Yep.
But another favorite of mine, honestly, I have to give it to Ironclad. He's so freaking fun. He's risky, but he's fun.
He's fun, and oh man, he is so hard to play on my new estate where I can't heal.
I can imagine, because when you go demon mode, he's like, well, guess I'll die.
Yeah, you can't take him out of it after combat either. He just stays in that mode for the next 3 actions. He hurts himself, so I've kind of segregated him to he stays human until that boss needs to die. And screw the consequences.
If you can get his Sunward Isles trinket, the Paper Frog, and put him in a Mark team, ooh, and use his Berserk skill, I was hitting for 70 plus damage without even trying with him. He is amazing. Void Slime and Zotlin really cooked with his skill kit. He's amazing.
Yeah, so far it's looking really good. I'm just starting to get to the point in it where I'm trying to get into the Sunward Isles without getting utterly destroyed because some of that stuff hits like trucks.
Good question. Are you running Sunward Isles Refresh, or are you running the base Sunward Isles?
Sunward Isles Refreshed.
Okay. Thank God, because there's some pain in the base Sunward Isles for that estate you're going through with.
Yeah. That being said, once I get to the Onabi and stuff, where the higher the light, the more damage they do, we'll see how I feel about that.
A good way to counter those little annoying pricks is just Gunwitch with the laser beam.
I don't have the Gunwitch on the estate.
Nuts, because she has the third right, where you can just go, I'm just going to ignore all accuracy penalties.
Yeah,
screw you.
That's the one reason I actually didn't put her on the estate, is that move in particular, because I found myself using it too often, and I thought it might be a little too powerful for that estate.
Yeah. I've been kind of on and off about using her in my upcoming Blood Boon, because she's so powerful.
She is.
Almost a little, too strong, for that exact reason you just mentioned. And when a fight goes beyond 3 or 4 turns, it just feels like I should just run a Mark hero instead, if I'm using the Cauldron and all that. He kind of gets boring in longer fights, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately so. Though, enough about Darkest Dungeon for a sec. Any games you've been playing in offcast or alongside Darkest Dungeon and stuff like that?
Yeah, so I originally meant to fill some of the time gaps, because I thought this was going to be a shorter game. Once the Darkest Dungeon season was over, until my next season with War Tales. And I found myself absolutely sucked into this game, and I did not realize how long it was.
Oh man, War Tales.
I'm loving it.
I need to play more of that.
I'm getting my head butchered left and right in it, but I love it. I love it so much. It's is it fair to say it's a more up-to-date, or not up-to-date, but a more current date Fire Emblem-esque game?
It feels kind of like Battle Brothers meets Fire Emblem in a way.
Or kind of like a medieval XCOM.
And medieval XCOM works out pretty well. And I just realized 20 minutes into this recording, your voice has been feeding into my microphone this entire time, so I think my end is a bit scuffed.
Uh-oh.
I really... Oops. Well, hopefully my voice is not feeding into your microphone, or you probably have headphones on.
Yeah, I do, so thankfully, I think we're safe.
Okay, thank God, because my end is completely scuffed. Dang it.
Yep, I got your audio is separated from my audio and all that because of my weird OCD version of recording, so we should be good. And I have headphones on. We're good.
I'm just so used to... I don't really do collaborations with a lot of people, so what I'm used to doing is just... I don't have headphones when I record games or stream and all that stuff, because I also use like an AI filter that filters out a lot of the stuff around me, and it's even being used on Discord right now. Like right now, there's someone cutting their grass like next door. You probably don't even hear them. And there's a plane flying overhead. I don't know how I got off on this weird tangent, but
I mean,
I'm
I
just
should show
explaining
you
it
my
like,
setup sometime, and you'll wonder how all this works. And it's like, I can even have my stereo on to some extent and not have my headphones on, and I have enough of a noise suppression on that it won't pick up in my mic half the time.
geez, that's not bad. That's generally how my setup works, but apparently it doesn't filter out other people's voices. Yet, when I'm playing a video game, it tends to filter that crap out, even when I'm playing, like, Helldivers and stuff like that.
The thing it won't filter out is when my neighbor is like having construction on their house or doing lawn work and it's hitting my house, things like that.
But War Tales, man, I need to play more of that. I debated about doing it on the channel and stuff like that, and I keep saying I'm going to play other games on my channel, but I go like, I'm too busy. I never get around to it.
My problem with it right now is I thought it was going to be a short game, and I'm 40 hours into it, and I can hardly say I'm into, like, the beginning.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those. It's got the length of XCOM in a way.
Oof.
Whereas, like, you go, well, I'm just going to play this and see how it is. All of a sudden,
I'm loving it, though, so. How about you?
Me, I've been playing Assassin's Creed Syndicate, actually. Slowly working my way through the entire Assassin's Creed series. And I played Unity and I wanted to hate myself. And playing Syndicate, it's a fun little game.
I don't remember which one Syndicate is.
Victorian England or whatever, with the Fry twins and all that stuff.
That one, okay. That's around when I stopped playing them.
Yeah, after that it got a little weird. AC Origins was okay, but they kind of dropped the ball on the main character. Bayek really should have deserved a whole trilogy, just saying. But another game I've also been playing is FF14, obviously.
I think we both play that one.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we both have the Legacy little tattoo in the back and shit like that. I've been playing since like 1.0.
Yep.
But playing a lot of Arknights, the only gacha game I'll ever encourage other people to play. There's actually an event going on there right now. And the other game I've been playing is Monster Hunter Wilds. Obviously, I obsess over the Monster Hunter franchise. I love Monster Hunter.
I've been meaning to get into that one too. Like, I love Monster Hunter. I played Monster Hunter since Monster Hunter 1. And then I stopped during Monster Hunter World since the crew that I hunted with, like, just stopped hunting. And they haven't picked up Monster Hunter since. And then I tried... What was the one after World?
The B team made Rise, so you had Rise and then Sunbreak. And
yeah,
then
I tried Rise, and I had a lot of connectivity issues in it. Like, I could not hunt with someone else online whatsoever. Like, I could not join another person.
Yeah, from my experience when it came to PC, it had some of that connectivity issue. It wasn't too bad on Switch, but I don't like playing on Switch because my hands get all cramped when I try to use that piece of shit hardware. And like,
yeah.
But Wilds, I got it on PS5, even though there's cross-platform. I want to get it on PC sometime. But if you ever get into Monster Hunter Wilds, let me know. I'll hunt with you and all that stuff. In fact, Arch-Tempered Raydell is like right around the corner, so gonna be hunting him right after this podcast.
I'll have to look into that, because that is like the one reason I stopped hunting is, like, after Worlds, it was just so boring hunting alone.
I can whip up like, at least a trio at the most. Maybe a quad group if I can find a fourth person. I don't think I can. I don't really socialize with a lot of people. But let me know. I can probably give you 2 other lads to hunt alongside you.
All right.
Like hey, maybe make some content out of it. Who knows?
Who knows?
I'm not going to promise anything. For my YouTube audience, that is. I'm not going to promise anything to you people. I made too many promises and broke them. I'm like, I still got to play Vagabond. I still got to do this. Still got to do that.
I mean, if I'm doing gunning, we can always make content out of me cluster bombing everyone, so...
Though, about cluster bombs, they're back, but they're not as broken as they were in World, thank God. But what is really fun is bow. The reason why is you can lock on and fire that thing like heat-seeking missiles. Oh, it's hilariously fun. You just pop the wounds, you sit back in the corner and go 3, 2, 1, see all the little reticles line up and boom! And it's a guaranteed stagger every time you pop a wound with bow. Bow is nuts. It is super nuts. Another really fun weapon that they changed up was Gun Lance.
Oh, I could never stand using that thing.
Oh, it got such a glow up in Wilds. It is so much more flow to the weapon. I would dare say it's probably the best gun lance has ever been.
Oh, that's good to hear.
But, in all honesty, I'm a great sword main. I just run up to a thing, press triangle, run up to a thing, press triangle. My controller has one button, triangle and dodge. Triangle, dodge, in sheath. That's it. Triangle, dodge, sheath. Triangle, dodge, sheath.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But, then again, that is being a little reductive to the weapon, but... it's a fun weapon. Since you said you played a bunch of Monster Hunter before, favorite monster?
Zinogre. I actually have a few figures of them right here. I also have a Monobolos, but Zinogre.
Alright, the fact you said Monobolos based and Zinogre, I can see it with the branding. I can see it. My favorite monster has to be this basic bitch as fuck, but I don't give a shit. I love Rathalos. Rathalos and Nargacuga.
Rathalos, while basic, there is some good to it. You gotta respect the Rathalos, man. You go in not respecting the Rathalos, you're gonna get blown to hell. Everyone knows this.
Rathalos is the Rathian and Rathalos is just a good punching bag to learn a new weapon, basically. Because, like, Rathalos is just aggressive enough to keep you on your toes, he does enough damage to make you respect it, but he's also enough of a pushover once you know his fight. You can just dunk on him and flinch him to high hell, break his wings, slap him around, take his tail and shove it down his throat. Mm-hmm. That sort of deal. He's the perfect little monster to just speed bag, like, he's really fun. Plus, I really love the hunt of him in Final Fantasy 14 with Stormblood.
Oh yeah, that's fun.
Really cool. That was a nice little crossover that happened there.
Now, the behemoth being added to Monster Hunter, that was something different.
I was trying to forget about that beast, and you just reminded me of extreme behemoth in Monster Hunter World. Even with all the master rank arch-tempered crap loaded on with all the Fatalis gear, he can still do a lot of damage.
Oh yeah.
Even that. Oh Christ. Speaking of behemoth, I kind of want to talk about Final Fantasy 14 for a sec. What's your favorite class? Just
I'm a Red Mage main. I can speak, I swear. I have been since it came out, and
fair enough.
I love it to death. The fact
Red
that
Mage,
I can go into any raid, and it's funny that I get more comms than the healers half the time, because I'm the reason we get through the raid with how much rezzing I do. It's a meme.
You can heal other people and DPS. Now, I don't use Red Mage myself. I'm too small-brained to use Red Mage. I'm a warrior and ninja main myself. Now, more warrior lately, because I don't need a healer. I am the healer. Where are these other three behind me? They're just my cheerleaders. But I love ninja myself. I don't play ninja well. I just love ninja. They're fun. But was it Red Mage that could revive other people, or is that Summoner I'm thinking of?
Summoner can revive people too, but the thing about Red Mage is we can do everything. So I can damage, I can heal, I can revive, I can buff.
Plus, you have
the healer goes down in like a level 50 dungeon, I'm the one healing you. A level 60 dungeon, I'm the one resurrecting you. Otherwise, I'm the one buffing and damaging. And half the time, I'm healing more than the healer, just because I don't trust the healer.
That's mean, especially with Sage out.
Well, it's kind of funny. In the group that I play with, I'll be in a voice chat with them, and I have the like gunbreaker tank that I play with, and he's screaming at me in voice chat, "Heal me, heal me! The healer isn't healing me. I'm about to pop my ultimate so I don't die." You know, the like you
Let
can
me
be
guess,
at full
Super
health,
Bolide.
1 health until you don't die. So I'm healing him to
Yeah.
full health. Meanwhile, the healer's just casting like stone or whatever. So I'm the one doing the healing. I'm casting whatever. It's hilarious. And then suddenly they
That
die to an AoE.
explains so. The moment you said Gunbreaker, that explains so much. They're shooting themselves down to 1 HP. That's why. Oh, I hate grouping with random Gunbreaker main sometimes
Oh yeah.
because they press that Super Bolide out of panic sometimes, and it's like, oh.
Well,
Like I use White Mage here and there.
uh-huh.
And the few times I tried running healer is stressful. After I had a Gunbreaker mained with a Russian roulette macro, I was like, okay, I'm not playing healer anymore.
Well, my
Because
problem
they would,
is I do Gunbreaker on the side, right? And the way I have my macros set out, Super Bolide is right next to my other tanking macros. So I accidentally hit Super Bolide instead of like Rampart or something like that.
Jesus. I mean, we all know Gunbreaker's not a tank. It's just a blue DPS.
I mean, yes, but
At the end of the day. I have a question. If you were to make your own class in Darkest Dungeon,
oh, I've been thinking about
what
it.
would you make?
I've been thinking
Like,
about
what
it.
would you do? Oh, you are?
I'm thinking about it. I haven't dedicated to it yet, just because I know the cost associated with it, and I don't have those funds available to me right now. And I'm not gonna get anyone sunk into that before I have that set aside.
Fair enough. Honestly, I think the best bet is talk with some coders and get like a basis set. That's what I would do.
I mean, I could do that, yeah. But what I had thought about was having. I really like bleed teams. I think everyone knows this at this point in time.
Bleed's fun.
There's
There's so many of them out there too.
Right. So with how many actually bleeders there are, I kind of wanted someone that would do, or something that would do damage versus bleeding, and also some movement control. So like shuffles or pull pushes, things like that, so you can get them where you want for the bleeding, and then damage versus bleeding. I don't think there's too many of that. Also, maybe an immobilize on that.
The only thing I can think of that'd be quite similar to that would probably be Forlorn, since he has that whip attack that can pull things forward, but he doesn't combine the two together.
Yeah.
That could be interesting.
He has the whip that can do bleeding, but we wouldn't necessarily have a bleeding attack associated with it. I know he can pull, and I know he has an attack that does damage versus bleeding, but I'm not sure he has a push.
Nope.
And he doesn't have an immobilize, which would be one of the other mechanics that I was kind of thinking of.
I think if I were to make a class myself, I've already kind of got the visual set, because I kind of been inspired by Kilted's recent mod that he released, the Squire.
Oh yeah.
The Squire is really cool, actually, because he's like a Man-at-Arms Crusader hybrid and stuff like that. So he's got some really cool guard riposte, which is one of my favorite skills to throw on characters. Look at Trapper. You know, Trapper's amazing. But guard riposte is fun. Plus his healing is really good, and he kind of has a nice little combo mechanic going on with his forward slash and stab, to where he makes overhead smash or overhead slash stronger, and it only targets position 1. But back to what I was thinking of, I want to make a Flagellant Occultist hybrid. To kick it up even more, I want to make it fire attack based.
Oh yeah, there we go. I'm like, how does that work? But
And everyone in the community already knows, like, I love fire attacks. I will sing their praise from here until the cows come home. That phrase don't work in this context, but screw it. It's my phrase. Deal with it. But I love fire attack. But away from the Flagellant Occultist hybrid, I am also kind of working on an Arknights class with someone. I'm not the coder, I'm just writing the bar, but Bagpipe from Arknight.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be awesome. She is really fun as hell. I can't wait to show her when she is fully complete, because basically the sprite work is already like being planned out. The sprites, the posing and all that's been kind of pre-planned. She has a complete skill kit ready to go, doing some bug debugging, whatever the hell you want to call it. So there's that. But what I'm really excited about is finally, with all the Arknight classes that are on the workshop right now, we'll get an art compliant Arknight's class, like that's going to be similar to, say, like Powder Keg or vanilla classes and stuff like that. That's what I'm really excited about. I can't wait to show off the Dragoon. It's going to be cool. I'm trying to find information I was writing about my class. Ah, here it is. An enigmatic sorcerer who utilizes their vitality and hope, the flame, to empower occultic power in the form of explosive fire. So, dark flames with borderline purple with hints of white. They bleed their arms as a sacrifice to fuel their spells, while binding their wounds with bandages lined with zealot scripture, even though they're not religious themselves. They utilize flame-based spells through the body, and stronger the spell, the worse the self-harm, as more blood's needed to fuel it. So, kind of like how Flagellant bleeds himself in order to heal others, this character would be self-harming themselves in order to do damaging attacks, essentially. And the idea is kind of like, I was talking with Zot and he gave me an idea. On Fire Punch skills, bleed self, buff self, plus damage while bleeding, battle long, removed if not bleeding. Optionally add pure self damage on top of that. That'd be like the kind of gimmick to roll around with the Flagellant cultist hybrid, basically.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I'm a really big fan of like self-sacrificial power for even more power, and that's why I really love Flagellant, and I really love the occultist vibe-wise. Even though my favorite hero is Crusader, I really love Flagellant occultist, because occultist, he is using the enemy's power against the eldritch horrors in the dungeon. Flagellant, he's just hurt me more sort of deal. So it's like, why not combine the two for one hero? Sounds fun. I like it.
Could be an interesting idea, especially when it comes all together.
Yeah, I'm not the best when it comes to balancing with numbers, because my brain goes frosted wires and stuff like that. So I'll leave that kind of thinking to whoever codes it whenever I get the funds to get the sprites made and all that stuff, because a lot of people in the community go, hey, why can't this be a mod? Like, class mod win is like, my gamer in light, do you realize how expensive these mods are?
Yeah. The modder...
We're looking at like... Oh, go ahead, sorry.
When I had originally priced this out from the artist I had wanted, the mod that I was looking at making was going to be around, what was it, $850 for the art. And then the artist upped their prices.
I'm dying.
Yeah, but that being said, that was for the full character, all the art sprites for them, all the trinkets for them, all of the skill sprites. That was for everything.
Holy fuck.
But $850. But then they raised their prices, so every single aspect of that got raised by like $5 each. So every skill went from $10 a piece to like $15 a piece. Every sprite...
I think I know the artist you're talking about.
Yeah. They do really good art, and I would still prefer it done by them. But like...
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I know the pricing you're talking about now, because I've seen it on the social media. I was like, I could understand the price increase, but god damn.
Yeah, so it went from like $850 to close to $1,000, and then I realized it wasn't dollars. I think it's euros, so it might be even more expensive. Yeah. That's gonna be a while.
The project that me and two other people were kind of talking about, I think the estimate so far is like 560-ish right now. That's mostly because a lot of the work is doing some of the art in-house, quote unquote. One of the people I'm working with is going to do like the trinket art and maybe the skill icons. I'm not sure, but if you, I don't know if I should reveal too much of the project on call or podcast.
Probably not.
But basically, yeah, but it was priced around almost like 600 or so, pretty much. That's just estimates. We haven't like gotten into talks and stuff like that. We're still, we were going to start working on the art, and then we found interesting bugs with a certain skill in her skill kit that was causing things to go act weird. I actually have video of them on my channel called Bug Testing 1 and Bug Testing 2. What is supposed to happen is when she uses the zoom skill, she's supposed to make another character go instantly after herself. What was happening was the character that she would sometimes give her action to, or give another, make go right after her, would just eat their action without any fucking explanation. It just eat their action, and she goes instantly instead again. So it's like, what's going on
I've
here?
had problems with that with other characters that have extra actions as well. I'm not sure what the problem
It's not
with
even
that
extra
is.
action. That's the funny thing. It's not even extra action. She's just manipulating the turn order to make someone else go right after her. So to paint an example, say you have Leper, who's traditionally extremely slow, right? And she is somewhat fast. She's not like Jester fast, but she's kind of like in the midline, like around 6 speed or so. She uses zoomies. That's the placeholder name, but she uses zoomies on Leper. Leper would normally go like at the end of the turn order. How it's supposed to work in theory is the Leper would go second instead of going last. So she would go first. She uses zooms. Gives up her turn. She gives a buff and stuff like that along with it, and then Leper goes next. And then the rest of the turn happens as usual. But instead, what was happening is the action would sometimes just get eaten, like sucked into the void. And she would go again. It's like, what just happened? And you would use the zoom again, and it would not work. It wouldn't even take another skill or take another turn. Another really fun thing with the haste, that's the effect we're calling it, or the name we gave this effect. We would use haste on someone that had already gone. They would go first next turn. That worked a bit more consistently than making someone else's turn like go immediately right after herself, and then try using it twice in the same turn. I spent like 2 hours yesterday just trying to debug it extensively, and I think we're just going to scrap it and do something else basically. But sometimes janky ass shit, while you can do it, it's just going to be consistently bugged, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry for going off on a tangent. It was just like,
No,
we're just
it
doing
helps.
it all yesterday.
Other people can learn that stuff, so.
But if anyone ever wants to see it, it's called Bug Testing 1 and 2, and I actually have debug on. You can see what's going on with the turn orders. When I use the skill, you'll see the turn orders go from like 1, 2, 5, 7 to all of a sudden they're double digits and like, what the And Void, when I posted the video in the DD Core Darkest Dungeon Discord, Void Slime was like, what are you doing to those turn orders? What is going on? It's like, code crimes are being committed here, sorry. But her kit is really fun. I can't wait to show more Dragoon off.
Sounds like they're going to be fun.
She's really fun. Like, she's very shuffle friendly. She has a breakthrough skill that where she moves forward twice, and then she gives herself an insane speed buff to where she pretty much guarantees she goes first next turn. If you're familiar with Goblin Huntress at all in her ammo mechanic, she has something similar to where she's using gunlance skills, basically. She has Chain Shot, which is a stun, and then she has Shatter Point, which is a disgusting skill. Shatter Point, when it has a full charge, it gives a unresistible bleed and an unresistible plus 100% damage received debuff to a single target. While the skill itself doesn't do a lot of damage,
that's pretty powerful
perfect
on those debuffs.
It's great for enabling the rest of the team to just pick one son of a bitch and just focus fire him down. And basically the whole thought process behind Shatterpoint is the worm stake from Monster Hunter Gunlance, where you shove a stake in them and you have an exposed weak point and it just does damage and they're bleeding and stuff like that. And what's really great about damage received debuffs, it makes damage over time stronger as well.
Yeah.
So instead of a bleed doing 4, that bleed is doing 2 times the damage, basically. So that 4 becomes like an 8. Correct me if I'm wrong, anyone in the comments, but I'm pretty positive that's what happens with a 100% increase on a freaking bleed like that. It's nuts. It only lasts for 1 turn.
If I remember right, that's how it works.
You still have to like spend a turn to ramp up to getting Shatter Point to get that level. And basically she has 3 states. She has Expended, which she can't use any of her shell skills. She has 2. She has Loaded, which uses which you can use the stun as is, which is just a basic little shot. And then she has Charged. Loaded, she can use Shatter Point with the debuff and bleed at base values where they have normal resist, this, that, and the other. And the stun is just normal stun. The 2 shelling skills don't do a lot of damage on their own. Then she has the Charge state, which gives the stun a free action where you can chain shot and then Dragon Lance or Breakthrough, or use one of her support skills like Ad Victorium, where she stress heals the party and gives everyone +3 speed. Or you use Shatter Point, which does that huge debuff. It's kind of like a pseudo mark, basically. And then her other skill, she has Warmfire, where she instantly loads something. If she has no shells loaded, she skips the loaded phase, goes into charge state immediately. And you can go Wormfire into Shatter Point and then restart the cycle all over again. But basically, we're trying to like emulate both her role from Arknights, where she was a vanguard to generate deployment points for others, and to kind of do some of the power fantasy of a Gunlance from Monster Hunter, basically. So you have 2 like design philosophies flowing together. And she, due to lore reasons, since she has like tech bang and shit like that, where she touches a PDA and it like zaps out and crackles and breaks, she has 0 trap resistance, just for the funny. Just, it's really funny. But I've been writing all of her barks, and I'm trying to like rewrite all the barks right now and kind of make it sound like a Scottish accent, or it's barely incomprehensible, like the Scotsman from Samurai Jack. Magic runes, laddie! That sort of thing. It's a pain in the ass doing that, by the way. I apologize. I've been talking a lot this,
It's all good.
You have anything you want to talk about and stuff like that? Anything at all? Because, to be honest, I ran out of topic.
I don't remember anymore. I can't even remember half the stuff we talked about.
Let's see. Well, we did go up to 55 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, we're doing good on time.
Let's see. We talked about our playthroughs.
Yeah.
Favorite mods. We deviated to favorite games and genres and all that. Did we talk about favorite moments in modded content? I think we did.
I think we did.
The last topic, maybe give some limelight to other modders. That's basically what topic 5 is. Ladies and gentlemen, Iris has a new mod out called the Horang. Horang? I can't. He's a shuffle lad. Really fun. I don't know how to say it. I'll be honest. When it comes to a lot of foreign names, my tongue just goes.
Yep.
But Huarang, I can't say it. I've been playing him a little bit just before we started this podcast, and he's really freaking fun. I can't wait to dive more into his kit. But he does some damage versus things that are bleeding and blighted, stuff like that. And with Cyan Flash, if a target is both bleed and blighted, and you use it, it stuns it. So that's really fun. I think I found a bug with his riposte though, where it's not working as intended. So, but yeah, if you guys ever want to check that out, go over to Iron Crown, and it's also linked in the Darkest Dungeon Discord and all that stuff.
Yeah, and with how often they get mods out, I wouldn't. That's probably going to be out in like next month publicly, I would guess, wouldn't you?
Iris, I've noticed a trend with Iris. She doesn't tend to release too many mods in testing until they're like close to done. Jello had done Legion and Oliver the same way. Like they went into testing when they were pretty much near done, and they were out in like a month. It's scary how quick these mods come out these days.
Yeah. Once they're available at this point in testing, half the time they'll be out in a month. So I'm guessing Huare, yeah, don't expect me to pronounce that right, is gonna be out in like the next month.
Yeah. Oh, a funny trinket I picked up. It's called Adolescent Froglet, plus 100% food consumed. It's a pet trinket. Here, I'll show it to you. And where is this from? Do you know?
I swear I've gotten that before, but I don't know where it's from. No, that's not the same one I got, because I got a different frog from beating the frog in the Warrens.
Yeah, the big Lord Toad himself. That's where I got this from. And it's like, what is going on with that trinket? 100% food consumed.
But that's
has to
it,
be a
huh?
meme.
That
It
thing's
has to be a
adorable.
meme.
I don't know where that's from. Like I don't know what mod pack or anything that's from.
Huh. Yeah, I think it's actually from the Wilderness mod. I actually just got pinged like 10 minutes ago by the guy that made the mod, going, "Hey,
Huh.
where's its other effect?
Huh. I don't
It
know.
should have this. Being hit buff self 10% prot, 10% blight resist 2 rounds.
Yeah,
Ooh,
the
that's
frog
nice.
I remember gave you like plus 10 or 20% max HP, so
I'll take that.
that's the one I got from the Warrens.
I'll take that max percent HP increase any day of the week. I love
Right.
effects like that. I can't think of any other topics, to be quite honest.
Unless you want to talk about your up and coming Blood Moon Estate really quick, and then, which I think we did in the beginning of the episode, but
honestly, I want to hear more about your estate that you got coming up.
yeah, the No Hope Estate, as I've so aptly called it.
That is my question. Why?
Why?
What has possessed you?
So you want to know the real reason?
Yes, I am actually curious.
So originally, do you remember before I started the 3.5 estate when I had the challenge estate up, the vanilla challenge estate?
Yeah.
So while I was doing that, I actually started also doing a no heal estate.
Yeah.
Do you know the rules of the no heal estate, all that jazz?
Basically no healing whatsoever. I vaguely remember it, to be honest.
So I was doing that, and I got like 15, 20 weeks in. I had beat 3 or 4 bosses, and I had only lost 1 hero. And the reason I lost the hero was my own stupidity. How I lost it is I went to the Crimson Courtyard, and during the Crocodilian fight, I had 3 people drop to Death's Door, but I still beat the Crocodilian. And then, what had happened was I had used all my food previous to the Crocodilian to heal, because my version of the no heal estate was I wasn't allowed to heal in combat.
Don't tell me they died to a food check.
Yes. That was the only death I had, and then going forward, I found myself doing stupider and stupider things and still getting through them. And I'm like, if I'm able to do this silly stuff, I had beaten the Necromancer, I had beaten the Hag, I had delved into the Crimson Courtyard, I was doing really well. I found it too easy.
You should post this story.
I am. I'm posting clips of it. Like, next week... Next week, I have a 20-minute video of stupid clips from that no-heal outtake of me, like, because, like, the first hit from the Crocodilian dropped 2 people to Death's Door, if I remember correctly.
Damn. All right.
So I decided that was too easy. I want to try this. And then originally I was going to do this on vanilla, and that's when I had started asking people in the Project Iron Crown Discord about, hey, how do I remove the heal from the Abomination's transform so I can actually use him in this estate? Because otherwise, he'd only be able to use Beast Bile. Think about that.
Yeah.
Because with a no hope estate, I can't stun, I can't heal, and I can't stress heal. That means the Abomination is absolutely worthless unless I personally modded him. And then once people kind of caught onto what I was doing, they're like, but why aren't you doing class mods? Why aren't you doing other mods? And I kind of got dragged into doing what I'm doing now.
Yeah, your antics have caught the attention of a few people. And it's been funny reading back some of those conversations, like, what is this bad man doing?
Yeah.
I remember seeing one of your comments go, oh, it's going to be easy because you're using modded classes.
Yeah, that was a fun one. It's like, no, like one of the first dungeons that wasn't one of the tutorials, I got crit for my full health. Like, I have started this estate a few times now and restarted it. Because of the mod mash that we're using from Slime, some of the stuff that was supposed to be veteran only got into Apprentice. So the Seraphs, specifically, I got a mash where two of
Yeah.
them were in the same mash, along with a animated armor, and I forget what the fourth thing was, but the animated armor guarded one of the Seraphs. And the Seraphs, as you know, do that AoE, and it crit everyone for 9, and another Seraph just did 5 damage, so everyone right off the bat took 10 damage in Apprentice.
Seraph, is that weird statue thing?
Yeah, this bleeding statue. So I had to take down 2 Seraphs that were doing 5 damage each minimum around, get the animated armor, which had the riposte, and then another enemy.
I know Void is enjoying the pain and suffering that's going to come out of that modded mash mix.
Yeah. There was another mash that I had. I don't remember what it was, but there was multiple enemies that were just able to crit me right off the bat for like 19 on Apprentice. And that's like a full Apprentice's health. And people are going, that's too easy. No, that's my full health in Apprentice. Thank you very much. And then they have to go through that entire combat without being healed. And I can't stun.
And no food, no nothing.
Like, I can use food to heal after the combat. I'm allowing myself that.
Okay, I was being really worried for a second.
So
okay.
the rules are I'm not allowed to heal in combat, I'm not allowed to stress heal in combat, and I'm not allowed to stun anything. So I'm allowed to use food, I'm allowed to use curios, and I'm allowed, because otherwise I would have to mod out the fact that all food checks would heal, and that would be something in of itself.
Annoying.
I would have to like mod out all the rules of like vigorous, healing stress, healing health. That was just going to be way too much.
Yeah, I feel that.
So I'm like, screw it, food can still heal. I'm still going to heal with food. And it's still a problem. Like, my first attempt to get to the Necromancer failed.
So, how is Flagellant's heal working? You're just bleeding yourself for fun?
Yeah. Yeah, so all the vanilla characters, I modded out everything. So the Flagellant, his heal doesn't heal. The Occultist just bleeds someone else.
It bleeds them, but it has a chance to.
Yeah.
Can it crit, though?
Yes.
That's funny.
So some of those antics are amazing.
Crit 0 bleed.
Yes. Actually, the the heal number doesn't even show up. It just goes bleed. But you'll get the sound effect for a crit.
This is why I like modded Darkest Dungeon. Stupid shit like this.
Mm-hmm.
About my estate, let me pull up my rules for it. I have it as a community post. That sound, I don't know which is going to be worse. 60% Blood Moon Nuzlocke or that?
I mean, at least mine, the only way I'm feasibly going to lose is if every single hero dies.
Yeah, I got my list. So, I'm calling it the 60% Pipeweed and 40% Insanity estate. Bit of a mouthful. Come up with a better one another day. But it's a permadeath Nuzlocke. Only one hero per class. All champion bosses must be killed, including Summer Dials, Vermintide, the works. However, this is where it gets interesting. Champion boss kills will be treated like never again. That means they're going to be treated as if that hero has went into the Darkest Dungeon. I cannot use them for the Darkest Dungeon. I cannot use them for another champion boss. None of it.
I could see you screwing yourself out of a run because if too many heroes died, and then...
Yeah. Plus, I have Welly's, Welly Jello's enemy rework.
Mm-hmm.
You know, one that makes Jellyfish give damage reflection to the entire Cove Mash. Troopers have Repaws. Bone Rabble have Repaws. The Bone Couriers blight you. The maggots have to be killed twice. You know, that cursed enemy rework.
Yep.
Several vanilla class tweaks, modded enemies, KCC, Home for Lost Monsters, Here Be Monsters. With the modded mix-up, I managed to encounter the fucking Swine Mauler Centurion and a fucking Bristling Bone enemy. 2 Seraph sounds painful enough as it is. I've also added
that's not even the worst of it.
Swine Scav everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Roaming bosses are still being considered, but also, if that wasn't painful enough, it's going to be Blood Moon with 60% more HP on every single enemy. Can you imagine the Kraken? The Crimson Court Kraken with 400 health
I'm looking at him right now on my estate and going, do I really want to fight this thing right now? Is it really worth like whatever trinket I'm looking at? Because feasibly,
Right.
I can't heal. I have to get to him. I hate the Crimson Court. I hate it so much, but I want the trinket.
Chevaliers with 60% more HP.
No. No.
Thing from the Stars with 60% more HP.
That one you could not pay me to do. I don't care. No.
Alright, here's the worst one. So, Brigand Wolf, if you don't know, is scaled up twice by Blood Moon. I think he's increased by like, I don't remember the numbers off the top of my head. He's not increased by 20%, which is the normal increase. He is increased by the 20% plus another percentage. So that 20% becomes 60% plus another. So Brigand Wolf normally is a pushover.
Yeah. Have fun with that one.
That's going to be a long fight. Brigand Wolf might actually be a hell of... And I'm actually counting Brigand Wolf as a champion boss. Like, once I fight him, they're going to be counted as never again. That's why my class list is so fucking long. It's like, Nuzlocke, yeah, sure, but...
I mean,
if someone dies, I'm still going to allow myself to re-recruit that character, because it is still Blood Moon. I still have the normal death limit on me. If, like, 10 people die, the run is done. Just gone.
Yeah.
So, I think I'm still going to allow myself some leeway there. So, like, I don't know, say Crusader dies, my favorite character in the game. Of course I'm going to fucking get another Crusader in. What, am I stupid?
Yeah, there is that.
No,
you do have the rules of, was it 10 or 12 heroes? It actually gets extended at some point. I did notice that in my Blood Moon estate last time, because at some point it got extended from 12 heroes to 14 heroes.
I wonder why.
I don't know at what point that happened, but I did notice that was a thing. Otherwise, I would have lost that run.
Now, one thing I'm trying to debate of where I'm trying to allow myself to do or not is, do I do the dismiss hero and re-recruit another hero of the same type? So say I got a really shitty highwayman who's like negative quirked out the hell, afflicted, and I get like another highwayman in the wagon that's like luminous, for example.
I would.
Right?
I would.
It's a hell of a leeway, plus it's part of the game.
I would, because getting rid of negative quirks is a lot of gold. And you can also level them up that way if you need to catch them up.
Yeah, but here, counter argument, Trapper.
True.
But then again, I won't have the week limit. I'm getting rid of the week limit entirely, so I'm not going to try to bum rush the game. I think I put the week limit to like 999, so I think I'm good there. But the death limit is still going to be in place. But yeah, it's going to be a really hard estate. I'm not going to lie. I'm a little nervous, but at the same time, I'm like, what prompted me to do it is I keep blowing through normal content like it's nothing. It takes some real... Like, I was daring another mod maker with the Wilderness Mash. Like, I need hard content. It's not here. I just go snap my finger and things die. And then, of course, out of nowhere, I get my shit rocked now and then.
I think we both did that. If you've seen what I've done to some of the newer mods, and people just went, what did you do to my mod? What did you do?
I mean, it's rich I'm saying this, and then the carnival exists as well. But honestly, I don't want to sound too negative, but I actually do think the carnival kind of needed to be tweaked back a little bit. Because I felt like they were basing it off of another mod that was tweaking everything up by 60%, like double the HP and all that, like almost like Black Reliquary, essentially. Yeah. Like,
some of those resistances were...
Yeah. Like, they're really cool. The art and the vibe of that whole mod is awesome, but they are a little bit tuned up to high hell. But I hope to revisit them one day to go give them a fight. Oh, favorite boss? Modded or vanilla?
Favorite boss? Ooh. Omibozu. Omibozu? When it works correctly, I love the mechanics.
It is so unique.
One of the most unique and fun fights that makes you think of, hey, how am I gonna approach this? Because I need someone on death's door to even hurt the thing, and half of its attacks will put you at death's door. So, like, you need to be able to heal unless you want to risk people just outright dying.
I can see it. Honestly, my favorite boss is it's not even a boss, it's a roamer. Swine Scavenger.
Ah, yeah, I love him too. I can see it.
Because he is intimidating as all hell when he first appears, and he has profit marketing and stuff like that. He's a really intimidating threat. But once you understand how to fight him, he is a great rival for your worked out god squads, basically. That's why I kind of want to throw him in every region. He is such a great contender to fight modded teams in particular. Because RNG can say, fuck you, I'm gonna decide your Charles is gonna die this day, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But you kill his friends, and his difficulty plummets, basically. As long as you know to control his ad, he can be trivialized.
As long as he doesn't show up at the exact wrong moment, which he has a tendency to do.
Oh, man. Yeah.
And if he shows up at the exact wrong moment, and if, like, he would appear one hallway later, you could take him, but no, he has to appear right then, right there, and then TPK.
I had that feeling with Doug Dwemer Lake. Dwemer Lake. I hate that freaking boss.
I hate him so many times lately where it will just go into rank 4 and reconstitute for 15 turns straight.
That's just pure RNG, baby.
I know, but it's frustrating.
Yeah.
Have you ever fought that thing for an hour straight?
Like, Doug Dwemer Lake, owner of Dwemer Dome. I hate him. I hate him so much. Where's one of your least favorite monsters or bosses to fight?
Least favorite? Oh.
Because Dwemer Lake takes the cake for me. Simply because position 4 reconstitute constantly.
If I can do non-modded, it is the thing from the stars. I hate that thing with all my heart.
You and everyone else, no one likes that thing.
And actually, I have to say the Destroyer from the Stars after fighting that thing.
I have not fought him yet.
Because it is just a reskinned, worse version of it after.
I won't lie, I have not fought him yet.
Think of the thing from the Stars, but instead of just giving it more actions, and it can summon more of the crystalline aberrations.
Oh no.
It gets 2 drowned, and it can summon them after you've taken all of your actions.
Where's true damage when I need it?
Right.
Where's dot kill when I need it? Jesus.
Like, I would have been fine in that fight, but I used all my actions, and then it summoned the crystalline aberrations. I'm like, wait a moment. Both of them are right there. They're going to explode at the end of this round. Kaboom, kaboom. I couldn't do anything about it. That's what got me about that fight, and that's what frustrated me the most, is like, why couldn't it summon them at the beginning of the round, and then I could have done something about it, and it would have been a little more fair, but it had to pull that on me.
I'm reminded of this is not even a boss. You know the Goblin Sappers?
Yes.
So, Viking is really evil when he makes his enemy mashes.
Oh yeah.
Double thrall with Goblin Sappers.
Ooh.
Just throw in a Slater for good measure. Why not? Yeah, you have 3 enemies that are going like, we're gonna blow you up. Pick your flavor. Undead, Squishy Boy, or Goblin. Unless you have a fantastic area of effect cleave, or roll very high in your stun, or have a stun to begin with.
Yeah.
Because I generally don't like running stuns for whatever reason. I don't know. I like killing things more. It's gonna hurt.
Right.
At least it's a rare spawn. But my god.
I was getting them pretty frequently there at the end, but yeah.
Bone Wheel is another crazy one too. You can't stop the ride. It just goes. Okay.
I think they recently nerfed them because of that. Because it was soft blocking people.
They only nerfed them because of that, yeah. And honestly, deserved. Screw that. Screw the Bone Wheel.
Yeah, the only reason I actually got out of a recent soft block with it was because I had that trinket that I had mentioned on the Anointed where he could do the riposte. Otherwise, I would have been
Mm,
soft blocked at one point
So
because he was
basically,
just crit, 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 and
you
he
kept
was
rolling into
going.
your riposte, basically.
Yeah.
Man,
Which was
the
also kind of
freaking
funny because I also had the trinket on him that every time I got hit, I bladed the enemy party. But
that's his Vermintide trinket, ain't it?
yeah, I love that trinket so
The little
much.
the bandana or whatever.
Yep.
Man, speaking of Vermintide, all of the Vermintide bosses are just magnificently done.
They
Iris
are.
and
They can hit
Iris and
like
the whole
trucks,
Vermintide
but
team. They're fun. They're just so gimmicky, and I love that whole thing about that stuff. I just love gimmick fights more than anything, and phase fights, really. Like the Banshee, because you're fighting the Banshee, and then all of a sudden you get a phase shift and a whole completely different mechanic. You know, it reminds me of Final Fantasy 14 raids and stuff like that.
mhm.
The Banshee is so freaking fun. A lot of Marvin Sale mods are really cool. Did we talk about least favorite class mods yet?
Class
Out of
mods.
curiosity.
Yeah, I think we did. Did we?
No, least favorite. Like
Least favorite?
class
No.
mods we thought we like class mods we thought we would like, but kind of don't. I
No,
don't
I
think
don't
we
think we
did.
did that one yet. Oof.
I have
That
a
one.
few. I have more than a few. As my viewers would know, I am a opinionated asshole at times.
Oh, there are a few I thought I would love. Let me go back to this.
I did try to curb some of my negative viewpoints as of late and stuff like that. So I have done that. Wait until I do a tier list. Oh boy, a lot of people are going to be upset. This is partially the reason why I haven't done it yet.
Oh, that's gonna be interesting when you do that. Ooh.
I have one already made, but there's some classes on there that people are going to be like, what? Because, spoiler, Marauder is in the lowest possible tier.
Yeah, that is one that I thought I was actually gonna like more, and then once I got into the actual mechanics of how she plays, there's two ways
She's
to play
boring.
her.
She's just boring, honestly.
Yeah,
She's not. The visuals and the art is amazing. I really like her whole vibe, but the gameplay doesn't quite stick it for me. The funnest thing I can do with her is the AoE attack she does. Whatever, just keep spamming that. But
mm-hmm.
just stick her in rank 4. Give her basically when you have treasure in your inventory and you have that one skill that can hit anywhere from position 4. You have omni range Iron Swamp. She's very powerful. She's very potent, but she's not really that interesting, in all honesty. And not even for a simple hero. I really wanted to like the Blue Oni or Marauder.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed with that one. Another one I was really hoping to like in normal game, but because I loved them in Black Reliquary, was the Dredge.
You and everyone else.
Yeah,
I agree, actually. I love Dredge, but in normal game, she don't work.
she don't work.
She just doesn't work. Which is funny. If you quit the game when you have her mech form, you can just trick the game into keep using the mech form infinitely, basically.
Oh yeah, I suppose there is that.
It's just she's a proof of concept that doesn't quite work because of the limit of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the fun term these days is maybe when mod tools come. Maybe.
Maybe, and then she gets a rework, but
I
this is one that's gonna get me some heat, I think, and we'll end. I'll end on this one.
all right.
Exterminator.
I'll give a spicy take of my own. What'd you say?
Exterminator. Don't like Exterminator.
Ooh, you dislike the Exterminator?
Couldn't bring myself to like him. I tried and tried and tried with a ton of different teams. Can't bring myself to like him.
He's really good too.
That's what everyone keeps telling me. I could not get them to work for myself, at least. Like I tried them on Blight teams. I tried them on a ton of other teams. Nope.
Have you tried building him for crit and using his AoE attack?
Yep.
Because he stuns on crit.
I really don't like AoE stun crits though. It feels like it takes a lot out of the game. So I did that once and I could see the advantage of that. Never did it again. And after that, it was just kind of a... Yeah.
I love that you mentioned AoE stun crits take a lot out of the game. Because My hot take, I don't like Lamia. Triple stun, baby.
See, I like
Triple
Lamia,
AoE stun.
but I don't use her in transformation form very often, and when I do, I never use the stun.
Lamia is... Here's the thing about Lamia. Lamia, Slither Gaming. Attack any bladed things, delete them. Stun things. And then most people kind of use her human form, but her human form, all due respect, Marv. I love your Lamia, but her human form really could use a refresh. There's no reason to use her allure. The healing and stress thing she does is great.
See, that's where I'll contest that. There are reasons I've found to use the allure, because it makes it so they can't be guarded.
I didn't think about that. It's such a niche use, though.
There are situations for that, and otherwise it's the plus crits received. So I don't use it often, but when I'm running her, I usually do the like plus heal someone or the de-stress, which without trinkets isn't great, I'll admit that. But then I see someone where I can't have you guarded, do that. And I think it's also
against
a pull,
like a high
isn't it?
priority target. I think, how do you feel about Wraith?
I actually haven't used them. I
Really?
saw no interest in them whatsoever.
Because of all the stun?
Oh, wait, Wraith. I'm thinking of something else. Wraith?
Marvin Sales Wraith.
Marvin Sales Wraith.
Yeah.
I liked them. I really liked the bleed that they could do.
Yeah, same here.
And then the rework came out for them, like the Marvin Seal rework, and I was a little put off by it because it didn't feel like the bleeds were doing as much. And I wasn't targeting the same spots. Wasn't that kind of the case?
I feel like the Marvin Sale rework for Wraith, it took away what people enjoyed about the Wraith, of his execution ability, and doubled down on the stuns, which was people's initial like issues with the Wraith. Cerebral actually made a really good week of the Wraith, gave him back his original kit and all that stuff. But yeah, I feel like Cerebral was a little bit zealous in taking out all the stuns from the Wraith rework. I mean, he has one, which is the pull 2 backline, but I feel like Sap should be a stun as well. But it's so situational, it's like, I just end up using the same skills as the normal Wraith. It's like, I don't know which one I prefer.
Yeah, it came from the point where I used to use them all the time because I loved them, to the point where I almost never used them.
Yeah, I feel that. Oh man, I feel that way with Sisters recently.
Mm-hmm.
I love Sisters. I think they're a magnificent class, but I don't really find myself using Sisters as much for some reason. I don't know why. It's just, there's so many other mark killers and stuff like that, to where I think I have to just like take the Sisters and just try to plan a team around her.
One of the teams that I've really enjoyed using is using a flank gouge Falconeer that does damage versus bleeding. And then have the Sisters that does the Crimson Dance, and having them dance, and then have like a Houndmaster in the back that does damage all the bleeding. So now you're doing tons of bleed damage, and it's just it wrecks. And then whatever healer you want in the back, props if you do like the Courier Hunter or something that does even more bleed damage.
You really love your bleeds.
I do. And if you can do damage versus bleeding on top of that, oh, it cooks, man. It cooks.
I have a question. Have you used Cerebral's Falconer, where it turns Adapt into the move skill?
I have. I love it.
It's amazing. I love it so much, but I had to tune that bitch back just a little bit on her numbers. She was doing so much damage.
Yeah, when you can make the Falconeer do over 100 damage with Gouge, it's a little ridiculous.
Yeah, it's like, I wasn't even exploiting versus bleed and mark. I was just shooting with the basic bitch attack versus mark, and she's just deleting things. But after I tuned her back a little bit, she feels a little better. But I love the Falconer.
Mm-hmm.
Would say we try to wrap things up real fast.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, this has been me, the SortingHelmet, here talking in Miacidae's video for a change, and I still don't know what to call this podcast.
No, but if you want to, this has been Miacidae, and if you want to help us with the name, because we're still not sure what to call this thing, leave us a comment down below what you think. We left a few names in the beginning, or if you want to leave one of your own, we'll take that into consideration too, because We don't know what to call this thing.
Yeah, we might, honestly, sometimes YouTube comments can be a hit and miss. Sometimes we get them, sometimes I see the most glorious comment ever. I'm like, heart, like this, save it, credit them in another video, stuff like that. And sometimes I just get the most wild takes, like, okay.
Yep. That's how it goes.
It's like, oh man. Before I let y'all go, I have a funny story. Actually, no. You know what? Cliffhanger for the next episode.
Next episode, funny stories.
Funny stories about YouTube comments. That's going to be one of the topics.
Oh boy.
Now, a genuine question. Do we host this on both of our channels, or one channel, or a separate channel?
I don't know. I'll have to work that out.
Anyways, this has been kind of a rambly episode. We kind of bantered pretty well, though, I would say. But, ladies and gentlemen, bye-bye.
As always, see you later.
Bye.